Hello and welcome back to another Bears game preview. I'm Randy, and this week we have the Bears versus the Browns on December 14th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Bears are looking to get back on track here against a not so great Cleveland Browns team. Despite that, I think this Browns team has shown some fight in the past few weeks with Shedure Sanders at quarterback. So we're set for a pretty interesting game. Looking at the current NFC playoff picture, the Bears are sitting in 7th place, so that one loss to the Packers last week dropped the Bears from the 1 seed all the way to the 7th seed. That just goes to show how tight this playoff race is and is going to continue to be to finish the season this year in the NFC. Unfortunately, though the Browns are not mathematically eliminated, their season is over. Sure, they're in a weak division, but I don't see them coming back, especially with some divisional games to end the year and just a tough schedule, including these Chicago Bears. Going back to the Bears, this is a big game for this team. It's one of the easier, I would say the easiest game left on their schedule. And as you can see, the rest of their opponents are on or in the playoff picture. You have the number 6 seeded 49ers in week 17. You have the 2 seeded Packers in week 16. And then you have the Lions in week 18. They're 8-5, but they're still in the hunt and looking to take the Bears out. So this win would mean a lot. The Bears get up to 10 wins. I think it's going to take 11 to get in regardless, and it might be 12 for the Bears to lock in a spot. So getting to this 10th win is huge. And the Bears cannot take this Cleveland Browns team lightly. One reason you can't take this team lightly is they're getting good quarterback play. If you look at Shedure Sanders' numbers versus the Titans last week, he threw for 369 yards at a 54.8% completion rate. Pretty solid numbers. Obviously, the completion rate is fairly low, but 369 yards is not nothing in the NFL. Get it was against the garbage Titans, but he went out there and balled. 3 passing touchdowns and another rushing touchdown. Had an interception, but an overall rating of 97.7. So he had a very good game. And this Cleveland Browns team has come to life with Shedure under center. Looking at the other quarterback, Caleb Williams, really rough first half for him against the Packers. I want to say he had less than 40 passing yards. And as you can see, 54% completion, just not great. He's been sub 60 for, I want to say, 8 of his 9 or 9 of his 10 last games. It's just unacceptable. The quarterback play has to be better. I get the Bears have been relying on that run game a bit more, but at the same time, you need more from your quarterback. He's missing a couple layups. He has his entire career. And look, that might just be who Caleb Williams is as a quarterback. He has a ton of explosive plays. He's going to make some throws that maybe 5 quarterbacks in the NFL can make. But he misses a lot of easy throws, which he just has to be better at. Going back to his stat line versus the Packers, as stated before, 54.3% completion, 186 yards with about 150 of them coming in the second half. So he definitely turned it up when it mattered most. And that's one thing that you can always say about Caleb Williams is he's going to play his best ball in the fourth quarter when his team needs it. 2 touchdowns. He did have that interception to end the game, which is a rough look. Thought he could have completed that for the touchdown if he either threw it quicker with some velocity or put it towards the back pylon. Regardless, good second half from him. I would like to see him put together a full game. Either way, we have 2 young quarterbacks duking it out against some veteran defensive coordinators. How is Dennis Allen and Jim Schwartz going to mix up some looks for these young quarterbacks? We'll see on Sunday. This, I think, is going to be the battle of the week. Forget the quarterbacks. It's going to be the Bears offense versus the Cleveland Browns defense. This Browns defense has been elite this year. Despite how bad their offense is and has been, this Browns defense has just been on another level. Typically, you see defenses fall off towards the end of the game since they're just on the field constantly. They're getting tired, they're getting worn out. This Browns defense has still put up some pretty decent numbers despite their putrid offense. They only allow 23.2 points per game, which I'd say is fairly good for being on the field as much as they are. 165.2 pass yards a game, elite. 107 rushing yards, so they give up some on the ground, but you're going to with how much they're on the field. Carson Schweisinger? Hope I'm saying that right. He's a stud. Loved him coming out of the draft. He's playing his best ball right now. And then you got Myles Garrett, who's going to break the sack record this year. So this Browns team has some guys on them on the defensive side of the ball. Looking at the Bears offense, 25.7 points per game. The Bears have a top 10 offense in the NFL. What world are we living in? I cannot believe it. They're averaging 217 pass yards a game. Got to see that improve a little bit, but 152.6 on the ground. That's elite. They've been the best rushing attack since the bye week. Second best throughout the whole season. And remember, they had horrible efficiency from their running backs through the first 4 weeks of the season. So shout out to Eric Bieniemy and all those coaches that are really doing a great job of getting the most out of their players. I want to see how this Cleveland Browns defensive line stacks up against the Bears offensive line and running game in general. Malik Collins is going to be out of this game, and you could just feel his presence lost in that Titans game. The Titans were able to move the ball, something they haven't done all season. Tony Pollard also gashed the Browns defense in the run game last week, so I would expect both Swift and Monangai to have big days. I would expect a Kyle Monangai anytime touchdown for those of you who are into the gambling scene out there. The Bears offense also has to start off hot. They need to start this game with an opening drive touchdown or a field goal at the bare minimum, and really just put their foot on the Cleveland Browns' necks and put some good tape out there heading into the Green Bay Packers game in Week 16. Yes, this Browns defense is good, but the Bears are 9-4. They're a very good team. They should take care of business against this Cleveland Browns defense. Moving to the defensive side of the ball for the Bears, I think the Bears could have their hands full this week. You may get Tyreek Stevenson back. Don't know how that's going to factor in too much because that means you would have 3 starting level outside cornerbacks, but I'm sure they'll make it work. Unfortunately, no Kyler Gordon. He suffered a hamstring injury in the pregame warmups against the Packers. Dude got his bag and he is apparently just made of glass now. I knew he was injury prone heading into the season. Hell, he broke his hand in training camp of his first year, but it's just brutal. Dennis Allen and Ben Johnson talked very highly of this kid heading into the season, and to not even see him on the field for more than 3 games is disappointing to say the least, especially after getting paid more than any other nickel in the NFL. But besides Kyler Gordon, this team has been beat up a lot. No Dio Adangbo for the rest of the season. Your second round pick, Shamar Turner, goes down. TJ Edwards has been on IR and he's missed a lot of games. Tremaine Edmonds on IR. You miss, well, I guess the cornerback room's been beat up, but Za Frazier, low pick, but still, it's another guy that you're missing. Terrell Smith, and then Jalen Johnson missing most of the season. Kyler Gordon, as said before. Tyree Stevenson. This defense has been beat up, but they're staying above water. 224 pass yards a game. Not great. They're making it work, though. They've been beat up all year. 132 rush yards. They've been getting gashed in that regard. Really need the run defense to step up this game, especially when you're going up against Quinshawn Junkins. This guy's been a beast this year. I wouldn't go as far to say the best rookie running back, but he's been top 3 at the bare minimum. So shout out to Quinshawn Junkins. The Bears are going to have to limit him in any way possible, especially with Shedure Sanders making the start in potentially negative 20-degree weather with the wind chill. His arm's not that strong. They're going to be relying on this run game, so stop the run, make Shedeur beat you, and I think this Bears defense will have a pretty good day. There's a lot of great battles heading into this game. We got the Bears' explosive offense, still crazy to say, versus a pretty stout Cleveland Browns defense. We have a battle of two of the best rookie running backs, Kyle Monangai versus Quinshon Judkins. Who's going to take that throne, at least for this game? A lot of good storylines to pay attention to throughout the game, despite the difference in records between these teams. But in the end, I'm going to have the Bears taking it 34-17. I think the Bears will put up a decent amount of points against the Cleveland Browns. If the Titans can put up 30 plus, I think the Bears are capable of putting up 34 in the cold. Their dominant run game is going to be dominant. So 34-17 Bears. Thank you all for tuning in and have a blessed Sunday. Well, let's get a Bears win, and hopefully we'll be jumping on this mic with a little bit more excitement heading into the second Packers game.